Adobe AI converts flat images into 3D. The night, right? It was just a front view, but he was able to like rotate it all the way to the back.
I imagine they're showing you examples of like stuff that worked really well. That's pretty cool. I didn't see the demo, but I'll probably watch it.
Hello, how the tech are you? This is our weekly tech show on Eplex Media. I am historian Matt. On this tech show, I forgot to say we talk about tech news, science news, any other tech and science stuff we feel like talking about. And again, I'm historian Matt. I'm a co-producer and co-host on the show. My other co-producer and co-host will introduce himself a bit later for his stories, but we're going to jump right into my story. I got one story today, which I've been doing one stories for a while, so I shouldn't act so surprised. But we're going back to some AI stuff, and it was just some interesting AI from Adobe. Basically, Adobe AI converts flat images into 3D, sort of. That's a little bit short of a title there, but basically what it is Adobe introduced their Project Turntable, which uses AI to take 2D vector image and turn it into a 3D model. Again, sort of. It doesn't actually give you the 3D model, but it allows you to do 3D stuff. This was a demonstration this past week at Adobe Max Conference. Project Turntable is just a demo at the moment and is not available to the public for use. And it's really unclear how accurate it is or how much the starting image needed to be tightly controlled for the demo to work. But basically in this demo, Xi-Ching Chen, an Adobe researcher, shows off Project Turntable on an image of a knight fighting a dragon. And basically the project is just a couple new buttons in Adobe Illustrator. So it's all done in Illustrator, which is Adobe's vector graphic app as far as I can tell. And the presenter basically was able to take this knight, which was first actually just facing the viewers, facing out of the camera, so to speak, or out of the page, so to speak. And he used Turntable to basically turn it on, and at that point he could like rotate it back and forth, so he's like looking towards the side, or in the case what he's trying to do is have it look more towards the dragon. And then he did the same thing with the dragon to make it face the knight more, and it was pretty impressive. Both characters are able to be rotated horizontally and vertical, though they really showed off a lot the horizontal axis for rotating. And what was interesting is with this app there, with this project, the vectors were preserved in the final image. So it starts off as a vector image. You can tell it to make rotations, and each rotation you can scroll through them, and each of those are actually also vector images. What do you think, Dave? Have you seen this?
That's pretty cool. I didn't see the demo, but I'll probably watch it after we record here.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot more like stuff in not Illustrator. Well, Illustrator when I was using Windows, but Inkscape, and this would have come in handy a couple times when I was trying to draw some things. Even if it didn't get it quite right or whatever, it would have like given me like a starting point on like rotation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty impressive. I don't do any like vector graphic stuff. I don't know how to do that. But it did seem like it was, I mean, it would take like, all they had was supposedly just the image of the knight, right? It was just a front view, but he was able to like rotate it all the way to the back, rotate the knight to the opposite direction. So you could, and it was able to like just figure out what the knight's back should look like. Right.
Right.
And the same thing with the dragon. And then another one, there's a number of examples in the video. So I might need to copy the video over into the notes, but it's in the linked article. But if you want to see the whole presentation, which is only about like 5 minutes long, but there's another part where they have like a vector graphic of a horse that's kind of leaping, and it's a perfect profile like image. So you just see it from the side. And because it's from the side, you only see basically two legs, right? The one forward leg, one back leg. But then when it rotates, all of a sudden it knows to add the other legs in, and suddenly it has four legs. So somehow it's, it detects this is supposed to be a horse. So I don't know if you do any other strange characters, if that's going to work, but it was very impressive.
Yeah, and I imagine they're showing you examples of like stuff that worked really well, right? There's going to be some,
Yes.
there's going to be some weird stuff that doesn't work very well, but that stuff might be cool too. Like for if somebody does like kind of surreal kind of art or whatever, seeing what kind of hallucinations this thing spits out might also provide some inspiration to people who do like surreal or like just weird looking art.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it was clearly, a demo that they prepared beforehand. And because the guy didn't draw anything while he was up there, he just took images that were already there, and he was like adding and removing stuff along the way to make it do what it wanted to do. So it was all like pre-prepared, and he just popped things up and hid things as needed to get it to work. So it'll be interesting to see like if they ever get it to actually release to the public or limited public release, like send it to people who use Illustrator a lot, power users or something, play around and tell us how well that works.
The other thing I'm thinking this would be pretty cool for would be like you could use it to create animation, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. If you had simple animation where it's just, a character spinning or something.
Right. Because you could just create frames out of each image. Yeah. This is pretty cool. Like I said, I can't wait to see some of the freakish things it puts out there. Some of the when people get their hands on it and start trying to test the limits of it, see what kind of weird stuff it does.
Another thing I like about this is I feel like it's a pretty good use of AI because it's not, stealing somebody else's artwork, right? And repurposing it. In this case, somebody makes the artwork to begin with, and it just, makes it a lot faster for them to make changes, essentially. Specific changes, but changes that are very useful.
Yeah, for something like a graphic novel, this might be very useful.
Yeah.
You're not going to have it generate everything from this, but you might be able to generate a couple little frames in your graphic novel, like using this. It'd be pretty cool. I'm into it. I'm into it. Usually we hear about AI stuff and it's pretty bad, but this is cool. It lets you rotate stuff that you've drawn in Illustrator, and that's extremely, extremely cool.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not taking anybody else's work. It's taking work that you're giving it specifically to work on.
Right.
And using what it knows, I guess, about the concept of a horse to turn the horse, but I don't think it's stealing someone else's horse.
Right. Yeah. It still looks like the original drawing.
Yeah. That's great. That's pretty great. Usually our AI stories are not great. This one,
right.
Great. Super great. Not great enough to get me to start using Adobe stuff again, but
fair enough.
This may something like this may work its way into something like Inkscape eventually too. That'd be pretty cool if it works its way into open source software. But who knows? All this AI stuff is like hemorrhaging money. So this could all just come to a screeching halt when Andreessen Horowitz or whatever decides to stop giving these AI companies money. So
right.
Well, that was a pretty good story. I'm impressed. Usually our AI stories make me angry. And that's cute. It's a knight and a dragon. Thanks for checking out How the Tech Are You? This is our weekly tech show, echoplexmedia.com. Go to echoplexmedia.com, check out all of our other stuff, and make sure you check out our channel at twitch.tv/echoplexmedia, usually live 6 nights a week. And sometimes my co-host, the Media Wench, will go live during the day when she's bored on the weekends. Click on one of these two things. I command you. Have a great tech and week.